Hey guys, it's Danny. Today we are performing some emergency maintenance on this orchid, and yeah, an emergency repotting, to be fully honest. I just couldn't wait any longer. I showed you this orchid in a previous video. She is one of my newer Phalaenopsis orchid and she's getting severely dehydrated. And this is because while we have a few roots inside the pot, we have quite a lot of them outside of the pot, and this orchid simply isn't getting enough access to water, pretty much. I personally don't believe there's anything wrong with it. I just think the roots that should have access to water all the time are mainly on the top, and that's something that Phalaenopsis and all orchids do. Since they're epiphytic, their roots will grow pretty much everywhere in the air, and it's not a sign of anything other than normal behavior. So looking too much into it does nobody no good. Some of them will just put out roots wherever, and sometimes it's not in the potting mix. So, to make the matter worse, this orchid is also in bloom, and that further accentuates the dehydration, plus, my warm environment. Not a very good combo, quite at all. So what I want to do actually is repot. It's not going to be quite a full repot. I'm not going to change the medium because I just repotted this one last year in June, so the potting mix is kind of still good, to be fully honest. So I don't think I'm going to use fresh potting medium. I'm just going to reuse this one, but definitely what I will want to do is tuck back all of these roots inside the potting mix. Problem is, some of them, they're growing outside of the pot. Again, this is very normal, not a sign of anything other than normal behavior. Roots absolutely love, quote unquote, to squeeze through tiny little gaps and holes, because it's part of their natural behavior. Naturally, the ancestors of these orchids would grow their roots along ridges and canals, let's call them, on the tree's bark, because that's where water concentrates. Whenever you have like a sort of a ridge or a canal in the bark, that's where water tends to accumulate, concentrate, and flow down. So that's where water is most likely to be found. So roots kind of like to grow in those ridges. And this looks like a bit of a ridge in bark, right? It feels like it. So it's just instinct. Right. But little do they know, they are living in our living room now and not the actual tree. So what we need to do is help them a little bit navigate this alien environment in which we are keeping them. So I will actually be able to save this root by just pulling it through the slit, and yeah, there we go, no harm done. Right, so we do actually have some roots that don't look so good. Yeah, definitely there are some roots that are not so healthy. Will they need removing? Yes, this one needs removing. I can see it. Yeah. Okay, this one fell. I can smell it. Yeah, definitely. There were some roots here that were not okay. So I'm just going to remove these roots that didn't make the transition. They're absolutely done. Hope you can see. Very mushy, brown, they just break. So pretty much this orchid only had this root inside the medium, which is an older root, not as healthy, and like the beginning of a new root that was getting severely dehydrated, and everything else was on top. This particular orchid was not super healthy even when I purchased it, and as a hybrid, I really don't know how it performs because it didn't come with a tag. So it might also be one of the weaker hybrids, but I can see quite a lot of the old roots just dead here. So I'm going to remove them because they're just gonna spoil the medium. So yeah, makes sense why this orchid was getting dehydrated. Now, you might ask, will you cut the flower spike to help the orchid? And the answer is no. Because I have total faith now that these roots that I'm gonna put inside the medium will hydrate the orchid. Or at least, I can be sure as long as I want, but it's not up to me. But I can give it a chance and I can monitor the orchid. If I see that it still doesn't really recover and it's still super dehydrated, I will cut the flower spike, no problem. I can wait another year. But I have some faith that now that I'm gonna tuck in the roots, it's gonna look much, much better. Another question you might have is, well, if the roots are adjusted to the air, won't they actually become mushy inside the potting mix? And that could happen. There's always a chance of that, but in my experience with Phalaenopsis, it doesn't really happen. I also make my medium very, very airy, even though it is water retentive. I use quite a bit of sphagnum moss. I find that it's still very airy. It's still okay or airy enough for the roots to gradually adapt. I'm not gonna keep this orchid soggy in any way. Also, my environment is pretty warm. The water evaporates. So there are all of these elements, even my environment, that help me out a little bit. So the outcome for me is not gonna be bad. And I think if you have something like this, a situation like this, you should try at least to tuck in these new roots and see how it does. I will bet, let's say, that in most cases, if you're careful not to keep them soggy wet, they will adapt to being potted, especially with Phalaenopsis. I cannot guarantee for Cattleyas because they have a root sensitivity, right? But Phalaenopsis are pretty tough cookies, even with the amount of dehydration and sorrow this orchid is experiencing. It put out a decent show. And when I say decent, you know, this orchid is capable of so much more. I could just cut the flower spike and let it, you know, I'm thinking about it. I've been waiting for this flower spike for a little bit and I like it. But yeah, the health of the orchid is more important. So I'll consider removing the spike. For now, though, I think we're okay. Right, so we can start putting everything back. I'm reusing the potting mix because there's no point to throw it away. It's still decently good. The sphagnum moss is good. The bark is okay still. No, it's okay. I can still reuse it. It doesn't smell that bad. The roots were smelling a little bad. So it's up to you. This has to be a personal choice here. I'm not saying you should reuse the medium and so on. Think of your particular instance. I know in my case, sphagnum moss is not the easiest to come by, and you know, if I don't have to throw it away, I'd rather reuse it. I've had Phalaenopsis in the sphagnum moss for years and it's still okay. It's been barely a year since I'm using it, so I'm going to reuse it. But obviously the choice will have to be yours if you're ever in this position. So I'm gonna try to push inside the medium all of the roots that you might be tempted to call aerial. And for, you know, the ease of conversation, we call them aerial, but the truth is all roots on epiphytic orchids are aerial. They're not like soil or planted or naturally, they're all aerial, right? They grow on the trees and on the branches. But, you know, for the ease of conversation, we are calling them aerial. Right, so I'm concentrating the moss around the roots and then, you know, the bark on top. I usually like to layer my medium, so now it's a little mixed. So I'm gonna have to do the best of it, but it's okay. I will use my trusty bamboo skewer, and obviously I'm gonna put a fresh top layer because I cannot really separate the bark from the moss here. But I'm gonna make sure that the moss is around the roots more. And I'm going to give this orchid a very, very good water afterwards. And I do trust that it will recover. I've done it before with other orchids and my experiences have been positive. But you also have to keep in mind each orchid's a little bit different. Oops, what fell? It's okay, nothing important. Each individual actually is a little bit different. Some individuals might have some issues that are invisible and you don't know. I tend to believe not. I don't think I have like a virus orchid or anything. She looks vigorous, she looks okay, just, you know, a case of bad fortune. My dad has a saying that I don't even know if I can translate. I'll say it in Romanian for my Romanian viewers. Ghinion de neșansă. It's funny. It's a bit of a joke. How do I translate it? Bad luck of... No, it's untranslatable. Oh my gosh. I'm actually gonna add some slow release fertilizer. I added last year a little bit, but you know, it's been almost a year. So I think it's depleted. I'm gonna add a little bit of slow release fertilizer. And because it's not really on the moss layer, it's like everything is just mixed. I'm gonna use my bamboo skewer to make the slow release just fall down. I'm also gonna make sure that I don't have super big air pockets here. There we are. Have a little bit more medium here that I can use. How do I translate? Bad luck of no chance. Makes no sense. My dad has some very funny expressions. So in the end, yeah, this orchid was just a little bit unlucky, pretty much. It wasn't like in the best condition when I got it, and it still didn't help itself. Maybe I didn't help it too much either. Maybe I should have done this, sooner. But I think now we shall be okay. Righty. So, easy peasy pretty much. I'm still debating if I should remove the flower spike, but I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna leave it a little bit more. Yep. So, is there a way to avoid these situations? I honestly don't think there is 100% foolproof way of avoiding the situation. One of the ways in which you can avoid this is by making sure your orchid is not potted way too high in the pot. You don't want epiphytic orchids in general, but specifically Phalaenopsis, to be buried inside the medium because you could rot the base of the stem. But you also don't necessarily want them way too high. Depending on environment, you can get away with planting them very high in the potting mix, and actually it might be safer. But in a drier or warmer environment, you're best to just kind of plant it even with the even with the potting mix, something like this. Because if you pot it way too high, those roots will start to just go each way and they will kind of miss the medium. So I think I potted it pretty correctly for my environment and situation. Maybe I didn't, maybe it was a little high, I don't know, but I think I potted it correctly, and still it did its thing. So yeah, unless we are in one of the extremes, like very highly potted, or you're dealing with an orchid that has a very high stem and the roots start to appear like high on the stem and just miss the medium, not even if you take precautions, you can actually avoid sometimes these situations. They sometimes happen. It's not a super common thing to happen, but as some of you might know, along the years I did have a few cases. I did have a case with a cattleya as well, which again, it was potted correctly, but the roots, instead of going down, they kind of went horizontal. Now, the solution in that case was exactly the same. I tucked in the roots, I kind of rearranged the orchid in the pot, repot, let's say, and now she's like nothing ever happened. She's super vigorous. I think that video, which I will link to you down below, even has like in the first pinned comment, even has like an update on that orchid, and you can see today she's absolutely fine. But for a while it was looking kind of like this. So it's not a matter of doing things wrong, or the orchid necessarily being unhealthy, or the potting medium being bad, or something you did wrong. Sometimes things just happen. You cannot control these life things. They're unpredictable. You can try to make sure you do a good job, and most of the times it will work out. But sometimes, it's a live being at the end of the day, and we're not exaggerating things. It is an organism that is alive. It is scheduled to grow in a certain way and do certain things, and we're trying to make it adapt to an alien environment. For the main part, we're succeeding, but sometimes we're gonna have anomalies, and that is absolutely fine if it happens. Don't worry, just address it correctly. Right, so as you can see, all of the roots are inside the potting medium. Now I'm gonna go give it a good water. I'm not gonna soak it, or should I? I might actually soak it. I might. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be a great idea to just let it sit in the decorative container, soak it very well, just for the roots to get super saturated. And then the next time I water, just go to my usual routine. I water all of the orchids, but today I'm gonna give it a good soak. So I'm gonna go downstairs in the kitchen, fill the decorative container all the way to the top here, and let it soak for an hour. Yeah, that's actually gonna be super beneficial. I'm gonna soak it for an hour and she's gonna be fine. And I'm gonna give you an update in a future video. Right, so that was the emergency repot or maintenance. Didn't take long at all. And I will say I have been putting it off, and it's not good. The more you put off it, you noticed it in a different video when I showed it to you. The more you put off stuff, the worse it gets. So you know what? It's 6 o'clock in the morning. And I decided to do it now because now is when I have time. When you have some time, do it right then and there. need coffee. Orchids will always give you wiggle room, but there is a limit to their tolerance. The more you push that limit, the worse it will get. Right, so that is about it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. As you know, we have a series of repotting sessions, but this was unplanned. I saw it this morning and I was like, this one is not giving me more time. She's telling me time's up, do something about it. So I had to, and I thought might as well film it because it's something that can happen. So I hope you learned something from this, and I hope you've enjoyed this. And with that said, I'll see you all next time. Bye!